Hi, my name is Brandon, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. Today I want to talk about closure and wanting wrongs to be righted, justice to be served, pining for what could have or should have been, and getting all of life's little problems wrapped up in a nice, neat bow. That's something that all of us inherently want out of life. We hear about it a lot. The most common way that we hear about closure is outside of a courtroom when a victim's family is talking to the press about either how little or how much closure they got from whatever verdict was arrived at. But here's the problem. The idea that getting closure is a desirable and necessary outcome is misguided, and for people in recovery it can be dangerous and lead to resentment and the recurrence of drug use. The truth is that life isn't fair. Good people often get bad deals in life, and being on a quest to find closure for those bad situations can often reduce the time and ability you have to do good things that can make a difference in the world around you. And it's doing those good things that actually give us the emotional strength and willingness to move forward past whatever we wanted closure for in the first place. So reading a little bit about this from Fuck Feelings by Dr. Michael I. Bennett and Sarah Bennett, they say, when someone betrays you or something bad happens and no one sets it straight, it feels like your world is undone and can't be put back together. It feels like an open wound, which closure would protect from infection by restoring your world to its natural order. In reality, of course, even people with the same beliefs often see the world differently, interpret the rules differently, and thus wind up betraying one another while feeling it's the other guy's fault. And bystanders and authorities, confused about the facts and having to listen to multiple arguments, can't act decisively and often do more harm than good. So it's neither surprising nor unusual for things to fall apart in a way that undermines your faith in hard work, sacrifice, justice, and a fair society. What you want is for someone to restore your faith, but what you need is a different kind of faith to begin with. You're the one who forged the connection between doing good and getting good back from others, and you're the one who has to knock that crazy, dangerous idea out of your head, not keep pushing for relief and vindication that will never come. So what they're saying here is that, we tend to have this belief that when we do good things will come back to us. And that can be a dangerous belief to have, because if you do good things and then bad things happen to you, a lot of times it's easy to stop having that belief very quickly. And so we need to stop doing good things because we want good things to come to us. We need to do good things because it's right to do good things, and it's right to contribute to the community, and it's right to do those good things rather than the other way around. So they go on to say, it's not just the lingering malaise that's a problem. Having faith in the commitment of others to your values is also dangerous because it blinds you to reality and makes you too reactive when something goes wrong. Feeling oppressed by whatever went wrong makes you seek out similar situations, looking for a do-over and a chance to make things right. You look for ways to get even or just to straighten things out instead of accepting what's broken and moving ahead. Instead, accept life's painful lesson that some people you trust will betray you because from their frame of reference, it's the right thing to do or just the only thing they feel they can do. Some people let bad things happen without doing much to stop or punish them because it's just so complicated. If anyone promised you otherwise, they were wrong, and they were speaking just for themselves, not the true powers that be. So if you want to do good, make commitments and be a part of a community, but don't expect it to be easy. In fact, given how often your efforts will be undone or treated badly by life, how often your good deeds will get punished, you deserve all the more credit, assuming you do them knowing the shit you're getting into. And when you do get into shit that you can't help but feel shouldn't have occurred, focus less on what could have and should have been, and more on what can happen from here on out. Remember, unfairness is very real, and closure is not. So I liked this section. It goes back to something that's become very important for me to remember in my recovery, which is the inherent unfairness in life. Got to remember, fairness is a human concept. This is something that we came up with. The universe doesn't have an idea of fairness. This is a human concept that we came up with. The world, the people around us, everything acts out. This idea that everything acts within a realm of fairness is misguided and can be dangerous. And it's one of those things that I've had to be very careful about in recovery, because from the beginning, especially since I work in AA program, I've heard people talk about the promises, and the promises of AA are written throughout the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And they're things that if you follow the program, if you do the program, they're promises about what will happen. And I have seen the promises come true and many of them come true in my recovery. But I've also seen cases where people held on to them too tightly or expected them to come true immediately. And when that didn't happen or something bad happened to them, they took that as a sign that this program was BS and it wasn't for them, and they relapsed and went back to drug and alcohol use. So we've got to be careful with expecting things out of life. And we've got to be careful with doing things because we expect something in return. It's just like the relationship with, my wife, for example. As soon as I'm doing things, if I'm doing things, nice things around the house because I'm expecting something in return, that's not a good thing. That is a breeding ground for resentment right there. If I'm doing good things around the house because it's right to do good things around the house, it's right to do stuff around the house, if I'm doing things for that reason, then there's not a lot of room for disappointment, So it's important to do things for the right reasons, and doing things because we expect something to come back from us. This is why I've always, just being honest, this is why I've never liked the idea of heaven as a eternal reward for doing good things in life. Doing good things because you expect to get something back it kind of devalues the good in what you're doing. Doing good things because it's just right to do good things, that's really where I think we need to be focusing. Because once we do that, then if bad things happen in spite of us doing good things, we can still maintain the strength to do more good things. So it's important to me, and I think it's really important for everybody in recovery to take a look at why do we do the things we do. If we do them because we're expecting something in return, we might want to reconsider that a little bit. Look at whether we should just do things because we know they're right. And if we conduct ourselves in that way, then I think a lot of times we find the need for things like closure, the need for things like justice being served starts to diminish, and we can live our lives focused more on what good we can put into life rather than what's coming back to us. That's it for today. Hope you have a good one. I'll be back here tomorrow with more.